John Kent was sent to the world of injustice, where he has seen what an evil Superman can do. He has now spent the last 5 issues exploring this universe and seeing how bad things have gotten. But after Superman is captured and threatened to kill Batman and Harley, John decided it's time to step up. It's time to stop Injustice Superman. This is Comicstorian, where I create audio dramas of current comic books, allowing you to know what is going on in the world of comics so you know what to go out and buy and add to your collection. Today we're going to be covering John Kent, Road to Injustice, issue number 6. As people in news stations began to gather around to watch the public execution of Superman's biggest threats, his regime was standing beside him. Cyborg tells Superman that he has some worries about John stopping what they're doing. Superman is sure that John won't interfere. He is Superman's son after all, even if he is from another universe. But Cyborg says that if John does, you won't have to fight him. After going through Luthor's scans of John, I was able to determine what universe he came from, and I'm currently working on something that can send John back to his own universe. Superman tells him that John will see the good that they've done, but Wonder Woman shares the concerns of Cyborg that Superman's judgment might be clouded. Just in case, be at the ready. John, however, has already prepared for his coming battle, or at least the battle that he may be able to avoid. He realizes that he has to deal with more than Superman. He has to fight the entire Justice League, and he needs to fully tap into this blue power that he has discovered that he has in order to stop the regime. Luthor told him that he originally used all of his energy fighting Ultraman, and to have what he needs for this battle, he's going to need to store more energy so that he can release it. Up in space, John can see the members of Superman's regime scattered across the globe looking for him. So in order to do this, he must start with the most dangerous. He flies back to the Earth and stops at the one man who isn't used to stopping, the Flash. He asks him one simple question. Superman is going to publicly execute people in the morning. Do you fully believe in what he's doing? The Flash begins to speak, but there is a single moment of hesitation. Yeah, that's what I thought. Hey, I didn't get to answer. You don't have to. I heard your heart skip. I'm going to save Batman and Harley, and you can stop me, but I'm asking for you to just sit this one out, Flash. The two then discuss the situation for what would be hours for other people. They share thoughts, ideas, and John makes promises and the Flash accepts them. The Flash isn't a bad person, he's just trying to not abandon a friend who has made some terrible mistakes. In the end, the Flash turns to leave, but he stops. If you hurt Clark, I'll catch up to you. John nods. I understand. Thank you. Next up is Hawkgirl. John quickly removes her wings, making her just girl. But John does make sure that she safely lands, and without her comms. After that, it's Hal Jordan's Yellow Lantern ring, his yellow light burning above Gamora. But Jay Nakamura isn't there. The individual that John sought out to get advice from, the individual that he spends a lot of his time with on his world. And now that he's taking the ring off, Hal Jordan looks scared. Next up, it's time for the one that John was most afraid of, Wonder Woman. He can't hold back when he faces her, and he has to use everything that he has. She has the power of Hermes, the god of speed, but he is faster. She begins to react as they're passing Jupiter. He is moving quicker than he ever has before, faster than any ancient deities. He's stronger than he's ever been, but she is still Diana, Princess of Themyscira, and she still manages to attack him as they reach Titan. She tells him that he could have been so much to Kal-El. He could have been some of the love that Kal-El had lost, and she will bury the disappointment that is John in this moon's dust. John quietly tells himself, wow, you are not the person that you should be. But John already knows that he isn't going to fight her. He just needs something of hers. Back down on Earth in Gotham, John makes one last visit before the final showdown. He visits Damian, and John is the one who sneaks up on him. Don't pretend you knew that I was coming. I've been practicing this for years. Not for any nefarious reasons, just as a bit of retaliation. What do you want? John holds out Wonder Woman's lasso. Where I'm from, Wonder Woman is the ambassador of peace. Whoever I ended up with is definitely not Wonder Woman. There's a lot in this world that seems salvageable. While I'm holding this, I want you to know that I believe in you. That you can be one of the greatest heroes on the planet, and you just need to believe that as well. But what I wanted to ask is, do you truly want Bruce Wayne to die? Damian takes the lasso, and he pauses for a moment. No, I don't. Yeah, that's what I figured. In my world, you lost Alfred. You should talk to yours. His approval is what matters. You don't need the validation of a dictator, you're stronger than that. But before long, Superman begins to check in with everyone, and as he gets no answers from most, Jay Nakamura from his cell asks if the soldiers are answering. Sounds like your son might have gotten to them. Superman glares. You poisoned him. What? I didn't poison him. Maybe you're just toxic and John didn't need his super eyes to see that. Superman bends to the bars grabbing Jay when there's a suddenly karoom as John bursts through the wall asking Superman, do you care to take this outside? With all the people still awaiting execution, John looks at him. You've got quite the crowd. They're here to see Batman and Quinzel finally dealt with. Yeah, that's gonna be hard to do. Superman looks back and doesn't hear anything. You broke them out. You have no idea what you've done. I stopped a public execution. I'm not overthinking it. You have been here for 5 minutes, and you think that you can judge me? Do you have any idea what I've lost? What I've done to protect this planet? Superman holds up Jay. If this man died in my hands, what would you do? John looks at him. I would do whatever it takes to ensure that you face justice, and no more. Do you really think that? Do you think you're stronger than anger? Stronger than grief? Superman has to be, John tells him. Suddenly there's a crack as Superman breaks Jay's arm. Then we should test that! John begins to channel all of his energy that he has stored up while in space. Show me! Do your worst! Show the world! John begins to run at his top speed. He goes faster than he ever has before, faster than Superman, stronger. He won't be able to do it for long, but he can do it long enough. As he moves forward, he extends his arms and he hugs Superman. I'm sorry for what has happened to you, but it doesn't excuse anything that you've done. You have to face justice. No matter how powerful, no matter how much influence you hold, powerful people must also be held accountable. This world has to have the same laws for everyone. As John's power fades, Superman hits him with a booming backhand, telling him, fight me, you sanctimonious child! I won't give you what you want. No matter how much you want it, I won't fight you. Why? Why? Because you're Superman. And what I'm looking at is definitely not Superman. There's no way you could be my father. John looks back at the crowd of people. There's something wrong with this universe. You all need to know that Superman doesn't kill. Superman doesn't lead with fear and violence. Superman isn't cruel or vengeful. Superman is a friend. Superman helps, always. And if you can't accept the truth from me, then perhaps there's someone else that you need to hear it from. John begins to pull out a recording and he plays it. It's the recording that Lois gave him before leaving. She informs him of how proud she is of him for making the hard decision to endure it all and still be compassionate. And that is his greatest power. Superman watches and he listens. And just as it seems Lois' words are beginning to have an effect on him, there's another loud kroom as John is struck from behind. He looks at himself and he sees himself fading from existence. Behind him, Cyborg stands with a portal gun. It's time for you to go back to where you came from. Superman yells for him not to go. Don't leave me again! I truly hope that you find a better path, that you can reflect on what you've done and you can change. But regardless, humanity is watching you, Kal-El. They've all seen. Some of them will still worship you, but most will see exactly how weak you are, how lost. What you had here is over. As John begins to fade, he reappears in his own Earth, back home, away from that twisted world. He now understands why his father hesitates to do more. It's not because it would be too hard to tackle more of the world's problems, it's because it would be too easy. He floats there above the Hall of Justice listening. This world is loud. There are screams, shrieks, and howls, and wait. There are screams, shrieks, and howls. Something is wrong. Something is very wrong on this planet. And that concludes John Kent's adventures in the world of injustice. And honestly, I thought this 6-issue spread was awesome. I really did enjoy it. Now, I'm not sure what they're implying by the end of it. It sounds like John is back in the world of Night Terrors, because that's the event going on in DC literally at the moment he returned. But if you read the thing at the ending, it says next up on John Kent, he's going to Beast World, which I guess is the next big event that's happening involving Beast Boy. So I'm not 100% sure. It probably really doesn't matter because I don't think he's going to be involved in Night Terrors anyway, so it's probably just the Beast World event that's coming up afterwards. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what your thoughts are on this 6-issue thing. I will put all of the comics down below. I'll give you the playlist of this full thing. And that's it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and if you want early access, hit YouTube memberships or our Patreon. And I'll see you next time right here.